never thought the sound of an engine sputtering midair could become the soundtrack of my nightmares. But that night, somewhere above the dense forests of Africa, I learned how fragile life really is and how far desperation can drive you. It was supposed to be a routine evening flight, just under 2 hours, nothing special. I remember the cabin buzzing with chatter, the hum of the engine steady and reassuring. Then, about halfway through, the lights flickered. A jolt shook the plane so violently that trays flew and passengers screamed. At first, we all thought it was turbulence, but then the oxygen masks dropped. The flight attendants shouted instructions, but their voices were drowned out by panic. My seatbelt dug into my waist as the plane dipped sharply. I could smell burning metal, the acrid scent of fuel filling the cabin. People prayed loudly, some cried, others clutched loved ones. I told myself to breathe, to hold on. But then the impact came. The world turned upside down. Metal screeched, glass shattered, and the cabin crumpled like paper. My body was thrown forward, everything around me breaking apart. Then, darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was half buried in debris. Blood dripped down my forehead, my chest ached, but I was alive. Around me were groans, cries for help, and silence where voices had been. I crawled out of the wreckage. The plane was split open, flames licking its edges. I dragged myself and a few others away before it exploded. The jungle swallowed us, thick trees, insects, and darkness. I had no water, no food, just adrenaline. Hours stretched into days. I scavenged through broken luggage for supplies, shared scraps with 2 other survivors, and prayed rescue would come. But then came the footsteps. It wasn't rescuers. It was men, armed, faces hidden. They had found the wreckage before authorities did. Bandits who saw opportunity in our tragedy. They looted the dead and threatened the living. We were no longer just crash survivors. We were hostages. One night, when the bandits grew careless, I slipped away into the forest. Every branch snapped like thunder under my trembling feet. I followed the faint sound of rushing water until I stumbled on a river. Drinking from it nearly killed me with sickness, but it kept me alive. For 2 days I walked, fevered and weak. On the 3rd day, I collapsed on a dirt road, only to be found by a group of villagers who carried me to safety. Rescue teams eventually reached the crash site. Many did not survive the impact. Some who did never made it past the bandits. I am alive, but every scar reminds me of 2 truths. 1. Survival is never guaranteed. 2. The real danger sometimes begins after the crash.